Hi guys, welcome to Sported. I'm Shane and where do we start? Well, wait a second. Let me just compose myself. Let me have a sip of my coffee. You know where this is going, don't you? Right, before I get into last night's catastrophe, we'll go over the results from last night. Okay, so let's do that, and then we'll get into the Liverpool game because I'm furious. You know, this is getting ridiculous. Anyway, so Wednesday night, Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 3. Swansea 1, Man City 3. Wolves 3, Chelsea 4. Newcastle 2, Spurs 0. So essentially, every team that was supposed to win won, apart from Liverpool. Now, the reaction to the game has been strong, but it needs to be, because 6 out of 7 losses is unacceptable for Liverpool. It's unacceptable for probably most teams, especially Liverpool, and we've not done this since the 50s. This is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not one for knee-jerk reactions, but this is looking bleak and scary and looks like he doesn't know what to do. Now, I had a friend go up to the game and his mate yesterday. They drove miles from the south coast all the way to Liverpool and back to watch that team and watch that performance, and that's not fair. You know, let alone all of the fans. It's the people that went to the game that spent X amount on. People probably flew to the game. You know, my friend drove, paid for the tickets, food, drinks. People paid for hotels. The cost involved in watching Liverpool play. Some people say that probably this is the only game they'll watch this season or ever. And he goes and puts out a second string, if that, a second string team and a bunch of kids on the bench, which basically tells you he doesn't give a shit about the cup. And on this season's performance, that could possibly be the only thing we win. But that's gone. That's been taken away from us now. He's not taking it seriously. Looking at all the other teams, they all made changes. Yes, they all brought the youngsters in and gave them experience. Brilliant. But on their benches were the big guns. So just in case they were needed. And Klopp did that cleverly. He let the fringe players and the young players play, a mix of experience and youth. But he put the Salahs and the Van Dijks and the Alissons and Robertsons on the bench just in case they were needed. Where were they last night? He gave them all a night off. They don't deserve a friggin' night off. They do not deserve any time off. I'd give anything to play for Liverpool. I'd play every single day if I could, for free. But it's not to be. These are professional footballers. In a slump, they do not deserve the night off. Now, he's come out saying, we need to rest the players. They're playing every 2-3 days. They're professionals. They're professionals. This is Liverpool. This is normal. If you can't handle it, you're in the wrong job. You're going to get found out. You're getting found out. And the fans are starting to get angry. Because that is disrespectful. And that's Crystal Palace. That's not... Don't disrespect a team from Division 1 or Division 2. This is a Premier League team that have beaten us twice already. They've had our number. He knew what he was doing. I think he didn't want to put the players in, the first team players, knowing that they might lose. And then by fielding these youngsters, he's got an excuse. So I don't like what he's done. It appears on the outside it was a calculated move to cover his own back in case we lost, which we did. And we didn't just lose, we got spanked. We got spanked. And I feel really sorry for all the all the fans that have gone there to that game. And I nearly went myself. Thank God I didn't. And it would have been an expensive day and a long trip there and back. So he's got a lot to answer for. Now we've got some really big games coming up. We've got Villa, Madrid, Man City. If they don't, they could potentially lose all three. And if they do, they're in big trouble. This looks like a mess. How has he got this so wrong this season? You've improved the squad. On paper, the squad looks better than it did last season with better players. Wirtz is supposed to be the best, player in Germany. He's a generational talent. Isak, apart from Haaland, the best striker in the Premier League. Kerkez, one of the best left backs. Frimpong, one of the best right backs or wing back in Germany, who won the league 2 seasons ago. What's happened? It has fallen off a cliff. Kanate's head has gone. Looks like he's ready to go to God knows where, the beach. It is a shambles. And now that tied in with a few injuries. This is a slump that needs to be fixed ASAP because the fans won't have it. We had a kind of similar thing with Klopp, but Klopp's got credit in the bank, and you could also see the style of play and what he was doing, and he never came in to a cup competition and did that. He never essentially gave up. It's disrespectful to the cup competition to not even have the big guns on the bench. I'm furious. It's not good enough. This is Liverpool. It's rude. We should go into every game wanting to win. Every competition wanting to win. And with that team and that bench, he gave up. That's Crystal Palace. They're decent. They're a decent Premier League team. What do you think? I don't get the thought process. I just don't get his craziness. The only thing I can think of is he's trying to rest the players, give them time off, decompress the situation, almost like a reset, a couple of days off, and then go again at the weekend. But that's not fair to the youth players that have come in and got absolutely spanked, and one of them's got sent off. That's the second time he's been sent off. The poor boy. He's not ready. What's it going to do to their confidence? That's going to stay with that boy now. He's been sent off twice. That can destroy careers. It's being dramatic, but it's kind of true, isn't it? You've got to bleed them in you mix it with the old and the new, the old James Milners, someone like that to kind of guide you through a game. Robertson was there, but the team was too many youngsters in a new formation. He didn't even play the same formation that they train in every day. It was like a 5-3 or 5-4-1 with Chiesa up top. Crazy. Just crazy. And I'm not one for knee-jerk reactions. I want to be practical and logical and think, okay, don't overreact. He's got credit in the bank. He won the Premier League last season. But then you start to ask the questions. Was it Klopp's team? Yes, it was. Was he lucky because the rest of the Premier League wasn't very strong? Possibly. There wasn't really a challenger. So lots of questions. You start to think back now, okay, maybe we did get a bit lucky. Maybe there was no outstanding team. A lot of the games I watched last season weren't great either. So things are looking bad and doesn't look like it's getting better anytime soon, but we'll see. Now he's got to earn his money. Now he's got to show why he's been given the job in the first place, because if he doesn't, this could turn toxic quickly. And we're not having that. That is disgusting. That is unacceptable for Liverpool to give up the cup. You go into every game wanting to win. So, Slot, it's up to you, but you cannot do that. That is disgusting. What do you think? Not much more to say about it, is there? It's unacceptable. I'm absolutely disgusted. I didn't think I'd say that. I didn't think I'd feel like that this season. I couldn't see this coming. Anyway, get your comments in. More to come. Hope you enjoyed this video, this rant, and I'll speak to you on the next one.